Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, what we are going to do is try out and install Rustpython. So, as you may already know, the Python that we are downloading from the python.org website is basically a C language interpretation or implementation rather of the Python reference. And people started porting Python not just to C but rather Java, which became Jython, and we also have a .NET implementation which is also called Python. And I recently met with the Rustpython concept, and what I would like to do is to try out and install it on a Fedora 37 machine. So let's open up a terminal, and the first thing that we have to do is to make sure that you can see what I am doing. So I will increase the text size, and we are going to use the green on black. So if we check our release, this is the etc Red Hat release, Fedora 37, nothing new. Alright, and the recording keeps going. So I recently started having problems with my USB hub, and sometimes it's not recording because it cannot handle so many ports. Maybe it's getting old. So first of all, what do we have to do? First, what we should do is to use the sudo prompt and use the dnf install rust. And if everything goes well, we should have a working Rust installation. Well, we will see. And we also have to install, I think, cargo if we want full functionality. So it is going to download like 63 megabytes. So once the Rust is downloaded and installed, we are going to install cargo. And after that, what we have to do is to clone down this repository. It's available on GitHub, and I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but this gentleman created it. You should also give it a star and try to support his endeavors. So Rust is installed. We would like to install cargo. That's like the pip for Python, and what we have to do is to use the dnf install git, and it's already installed. That's fine. So let's clone down Rustpython. I don't need the sudo prompt anymore, so I will just navigate to my desktop and insert this git clone command. So if everything goes well, we should be able to clone it and navigate inside the folder. So let's go for the Rustpython, and here we should be able to execute cargo run release demo.py, and yeah, so it's updating the crates. What we could also do is to launch an interactive shell. There is also a note for Windows users. We have to set Rustpython path environment variable as libpath, etc. and that way we can also install and run Rustpython with cargo itself. So we will also try that. We can also install it with Conda, this was WASI, etc. But what we would like to do is to do some coding, maybe. But first let's update the cargo index. Rustpython parser, etc. Alright. And it says that the -- release was needed, at least on Windows, to prevent stack overflow. So we have the installer. Oh, it's almost finished. So what's next? It's building Rustpython virtual machine. And Rustpython.github.io. We write code in Python and we can embed it in Rust applications, and then we can use Python on WebAssembly. We also have a pretty nice documentation for that. And let's see how we can write function. In Rustpython, it is possible to write functions in Rust and import them into a call and call them from Python. All right. Oh, it's creating the Rustpython binary. It seems to be working still. Let's see the system monitor. What is happening? Well, the CPU cores are working over time. So let's create the demo.py, and we would like to print welcome to Rustpython. And it is still working. Let's give it some time. Cargo run release demo.py. And we should also be able to go ahead and cargo run -- release. But let's wait for the output here. Or not. It is blocking. Yeah. Do we have Rust Python here? No, that's just the Rust toolchain. What do we have under scripts? Nothing. All right. So we are waiting. What we did so far is to install Rust, install cargo, git clone the repository, and then create the demo.py. And as you can see, we have successfully run the Rustpython. What we could also do is to run the cargo run release. And as you can see, we have a welcome message to the magnificent Rustpython interpreter, and we don't have any history. So what do we see here? We have the dir function. We could import the OS module, and we could use the os.name. Oh, and what we would also have to do is to use the Rustpython and basically install pip with SSL support. But first, what we would like to do is to use the cargo install --git, and here we would use this URL where the Rustpython repository was downloaded. So the first example I've shown you was how you can git clone it and build it locally yourself. Now what we would like to do is to basically install it. Let me check. Alright, there was like a little bit of technical difficulty because my internet connection went away for like vacation or whatever. But let's wait until this downloads. And now it creates the crate index. We just have to wait for the process to complete. And after that, we should be able to go ahead and use the Rustpython command. And let's wait for that. So once this process completes, what we will try to do is to use the Rustpython interpreter from the command line. Let's close it. It should finish soon. So let's go. Great. What we have to do now in order to access the binaries is to add this to our path. So let's do that. We have the bash profile, and we also have the bash rc, and here what we would like to do is to add this path to our path variable, and now we should be able to use Rustpython. So what's the problem? Bin Rustpython. Great, now we have the interpreter. So let's do just that. vi bash profile. Come on. And we export Rustpython which will be Rustpython. So Rust Python. Come on. Cat dash rc and we would like to say that we export this like that. Great, now we have the Rustpython interpreter.